Leonard Noblac stood in someone else's kitchen and shoved the cork back into the neck of the 82 Haute Brion. He held the stemmed Riedel glass by its base and checked the wine's color against a white kitchen towel lit by the afternoon sun. Deep garnet. So, all the hype was justified. The smell of leather filled the glass. The taste was earthy and beautiful. Practically made you hallucinate you were in the vineyard, just like clove cigarettes always made him think of his big night at the Village Vanguard, of standing in the point of that triangular basement, the Carnegie Hall of Jazz. Yeah, man, 1982 had been a good year. Maybe his last one. These Royce cats had stashed a full case of this stuff in a temperature-controlled cellar under the granite kitchen island. The wine ran $600 a bottle if you could find it, and you had no idea if it had been stored worth a damn. He was smart enough to taste the shit before stealing it. The Haute Brion was the only artistic thing in the whole house besides the 9-foot Steinway concert grand. Maybe they picked up the wine on their honeymoon, or maybe it was a present from Mommy and Daddy. Either way, it was just one more status symbol for the Royces to show off when other zeros came for dinner. Had to give them credit for holding the 82 until it was at its peak. But now, it was time for an artist to enjoy it. Creativity fuel. Leonard slurped the last sip with the same moan that slipped out when he saw a fine-looking lady. He stuffed the glass into the empty cell of the cardboard wine case and slammed the partial bottle after it, smashing the crystal like a drummer hitting the cymbal to end a number at the set break. The loopy golden retriever stumbled up to him, its toenails clicking against the maple floorboards. He had jammed a Valium inside a piece of pork sausage. And what was its name? He didn't remember what Catalina Royce had called her. Boo-Boo or whatever. He didn't want to know her name. The dog had gobbled it right up. Then the sweet old thing had followed him around, wagging her tail and sniffing the hand that had held the sausage while he'd hauled every TV out of the place. Now Leonard knelt next to the animal. She was a pretty thing, with a little gray dusting her orange fur. He gently draped his arm across her back like they were on a date to the movies. The dog pressed the side of her head against his thigh, a gesture of affection that brought a tightness to his throat. But Leonard kept moving. He found the bulge of a vein on the dog's neck and shoved the needle in. The dog felt the prick and aimed questioning eyes at him. He pushed the plunger hard to squeeze out all the liquid. Within 2 seconds, the heartbeat stilled. The dog twitched against him, her eyes still open as her muscles contracted involuntarily. Then she relaxed, and her bladder and bowels spilled onto the floor. Leonard's heart was racing, and the air in the room suddenly felt freezing. Gently laid down the dog's body and stood. He bent again and pulled out the needle. He fought to calm himself and dropped the syringe into the wine case among the necks of the bottles. Animals, all living things, got sick and eventually they died. He felt a lightning strike of anger at having to give himself this talk. He pushed the feeling away. Somebody had to do the right thing, even when it was hard. Leonard went 3 paces, flailing his head side to side with the anguish of it, flapping his cheeks violently against his teeth. He sniffed in a great breath as the dizziness wore off. He reached into his pants pocket for the little plastic bottle of hand sanitizer. Leonard flipped the lid, and the citrus scent immediately calmed him. He tipped back his head and squeezed the tangy goo into his mouth. The first drops dissolved directly into his tongue and cheeks. The grapefruit tang spread through his sinuses as he pressed his lips together. The gel slid down his throat with a glorious burn. It took just 2 more mouthfuls to finish the 4-ounce bottle. As he screwed off the top to fish out the last bits with his tongue, he welcomed the soft, mind-cleansing surge of ethyl alcohol. Leonard breathed out slowly. His breath smelled pure. His mouth was clean, free of 99.9% of bacteria. He took another breath and got back to business. The vino fit easily with the TVs and other crapola in the back of the minivan he'd left in the garage. He'd gotten the van in there using his black market garage door opener. All he had to do was hit the button, and the box would transmit all the known garage door opener radio signals, one after the other. There were only a few dozen. Now, one quick press of the button, then another after driving through the opening, and the van dipped unnoticed into the broad, curving street as the door descended again behind it. As Leonard thought again about his album, he cheered. He plucked at the seatbelt shoulder strap with the fingers of his right hand, as if it were the strings of his bass. His head felt airy, and in his mind he heard the riff he'd written for this track. Man, he could feel his great mood coming back now. He was grooving again. This new composition was putting the world right, was unquestionably his big break. His music was finally going to make him famous. He was really drunk from the sanitizer now. He put on a pair of women's sunglasses he found above the visor and smiled at his incognito reflection in the mirror. Just another square in Squaresville, baby.